Hello, everybody. What is up? My name is Robert, and I am the owner of my YouTube channel, Robert's LPs, obviously. And I felt like doing a vlog tonight. I know this lighting is really terrible, but yeah. So today is November the 17th. Oh man, just 3 days away from Kirby in the I almost said Kirby in the Forgotten Land. Kirby's Air Riders from is going to be coming out. So in just 3 days, which I am stoked for. I haven't even pre-ordered it, but I probably will pre-order it tomorrow or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, but I'm stoked for that. But I just felt like doing a vlog tonight because I just want to talk about a few things. First of all, work has been very tough because it's getting close to Christmas time, obviously, and it's the seasons, and it gets super rough and busy. And for whatever reason tonight, they decided not to give me any help in my area, which normally they would have the online pickup people help zone up my outside Christmas aisles because they're starting to get roughed up now. And usually I just handle the inside Christmas aisles. But tonight, for whatever reason, they decided no, you don't need help, or maybe there just wasn't enough staff to provide help. But anyways, so it was a pretty rough work night, and I am very exhausted. I just got done eating a delicious bowl of spicy rice and beans and cheese. Oh, so good. Those things all meld so well together. I love them. Anyways, so what I wanted to really talk about was all the recent animes I've been watching. More specifically, the anime I just got done watching. Shoot, what episode was it? Hold on, let me see. Oh dang it, I can't see. I think it was like episode. Shoot, I don't remember what episode it was. Anyways, so I just watched the recent episode of Gachiakuta. I'll probably put on screen here, the number of the episode. So anyways, Gachiakuta is a pretty dope anime, and I really highly suggest it. It's new, and the plot is actually very interesting. The main character is basically Rudo, this boy who is born on a city that's like pretty much floating in the sky, and it's kind of like a utopian society up in the sky, living lavishly and everything. But even up there, in the city in the sky, there were still like people like Rudo, who was like, essentially kind of homeless and basically just considered to be an under lower class in the society of the city in the sky. And so eventually Rudo is deemed to basically be trash, and then they kick him off of the sphere. Sorry, spoilers. The city in the sky is referred to as the sphere by people who live down on the surface below. Now, here's the thing though. The sphere has basically been chucking down their trash. They've just been throwing down all their trash down onto the surface for like eons or decades or whatever. For years and years and years. For hundreds of years, they've been just chucking down mountains of trash down onto the surface, which crushes and kills people living down on the surface. It creates mounds of trash, and it creates like toxic gases and waste. And even worse than that, it even creates living trash monsters called trash beasts. So Rudo is essentially deemed to be trash by the people living up on the sphere, and so he is essentially chucked down to the surface. He miraculously survives, and eventually he meets this one guy who, oh gosh, dang it, I can't remember what his name is. See, I did not I did not start this video prepared. Next time, I will be more prepared. So he meets this one guy who becomes his kind of friend, sort of. Well, he's getting attacked by a trash beast, and this guy rescues him. And then he finds out that Rudo has this power that people in the universe of Gachiakuta have, known as giver ability, which is where if they have like an item that they have a strong attachment or affinity for, they can essentially transform it into like a more powerful weapon, usually one that has like cool abilities or whatever. Kind of reminds me of like something from off of like Bleach or whatever. There's Zanpakutos always transforming and having different looks and abilities. Well, it's kind of the same ideal. And actually, I think in Bleach there was a thing where there were, what were they called? Oh, gosh, dang, I can't remember what they were called, but they also had like a similar ability to that. And at one point, Ichigo even had to learn how to use that ability to draw out the spirit of an item. And for Ichigo, it was his Soul Reaper's badge. In the world of Gachiakuta, it's for the main character. He wears these like gloves on his hands, and that's his giver weapon. But the main character's giver power is actually very unique. But I'll get to that in just a minute. So essentially, the main character meets this guy who finds out that he's a giver, and then he essentially decides to put the main character through like a sort of a really bad initiation trial, where he essentially just like sort of ditches him right in front of these people that at first Rudo thinks they're kind people, but then it turns out they're actually organ harvesters or whatever. They literally kidnap and sell people to organ harvesters and stuff like that. So essentially that's what they were going to do to Rudo, especially after they found out that he was what they call a spherite, somebody who lives on the sphere. And it turns out the people down on the surface absolutely despise the people who live on the sphere because of what they do, because of the fact that they're constantly chucking down trash and like literally ruining the surface world. There's like entire swaths of land that are completely uninhabitable because of all the trash, essentially. And so they despise them, and it creates this very interesting atmosphere of like a sort of like, I want to say, it reminds me of like Borderlands, the Borderlands games, where it's very desolate, very desert-like, but also you see trash and junk everywhere, and then there's monsters and beasts. It really does remind me a lot of the Borderlands games in terms of like feel and vibe, sort of. Not so much, well, actually, even a little bit in terms of the characters that Rudo meets. So, anyways, he eventually gets put through a really bad situation where these people are going to kill him and then, like, sell off his organs. But he's eventually able to activate his giver ability and take control of, like, a chain and essentially turn that into a weapon and use it. So it turns out that Rudo's weapon may be his, like, gloves, but, like, because Rudo has, like, this special affinity or affection towards trash, he can essentially pick up just any piece of trash. My glasses is a perfect example. He could pick it up, and using his gloves gives it like some sort of power or ability. So, and like an example of that was when he was given this one charm by this person, and it was like this person's symbol of protection. And when Rudo's giver power activated for like the second or third time, whatever it was, this was when he finally learned how to actually activate his power at will. And he was going up against a rather dangerous opponent too. So he needed something that could protect him, and this charm essentially was transformed into this giant defensive guardian thing that would protect him and help him. And not only would it protect him, it would also sort of give him sort of like, precognitive abilities to foresee the future and foresee attacks coming at that would be coming at him ahead of time. Unfortunately, the thing is that even though this seems like a broken ability, in terms of the fact that he could just take anything and give it some special unique power or ability, it's not that simple or that easy. But at the same time, the weapons eventually disintegrate after use, so it's a very limited use sort of power. So anyways, what ends up happening is Rudo then meets back up with that one guy who kind of rescues him from the rest of the organ harvester people, and he invites Rudo to join his crew of people that fight and kill those trash beasts known as sweepers. Or, no, they're called cleaners. So Rudo reluctantly joins the cleaners, but only because their goals sort of coincide with his, not really. Rudo's ultimate goal is to get back to the sphere so that he can essentially just get revenge on the people who did what they did to him, or whatever. He also wanted to get back to this one girl that he was sort of kind of protective over and liked, but when he was being chucked off the sphere, she pretty much did not even care. She even had a sort of look of disgust on her face or something like that, or just a look of not caring at all. So anyways, so he joins the cleaners, and so far it's been not too bad. They've had a couple of different not adventures, but they've met certain characters and stuff like that. And it turns out that Rudo's gloves are actually a part of a special series of weapons. One of the things that's really awesome about the series, though, is that the characters are not too dislikable, which is a good thing, and their characters are not too horrible. There's certain characters that I actually really like that I think are really badass and awesome, and the fight scenes are great. The artwork is great, and the music is fantastic. So where I'm at now in the series, though, I don't want to really spoil anything, but there are kind of opposing, or not really opposing, but there's more dangerous organizations, and they are after Rudo. They are after Rudo and his gloves and his special items, because apparently they're part of some greater series of items. And man, it makes me think, oh dude, what would it be like if he got a second or third or even fourth item that was like that, because it's a part of a series of items. But in the very most recent episode, ooh boy, things are getting very interesting, and I don't want to spoil it, so I'm gonna just leave it at that. Anyways, I've been watching so many animes. I saw that there's a new episode of Little Miss Vampire Doesn't Know How to Suck Right, which sounds like such a funny anime name, but is really good. It's actually really adorable and sweet and pretty wholesome. And then I've also just recently started watching The Great Teacher Onizuka, which is an older anime that I never really got around to watching, but I remember hearing a lot about it, and there was a lot of memes over it. So I'm watching that, and so far it's been all right, I suppose. It's okay, despite the fact that the main character is a little bit of a creep. Anyways, and then I've also been watching Re-Monster, or started watching it. I'm like 6-7 episodes in, and oh my gosh, the main character in that anime is wild. He is crazy. Um, this is a little bit controversial, but basically the main character gets reincarnated as like a goblin orc thing and goblin orc creature, and he keeps getting stronger by eating monsters and people. Although every time he eats people, they don't really show it. But then he gains all their abilities, so it's like, yeah, he ate them because that's how he gains their abilities. But anyways, so what ends up happening is at one point their tribe is sort of like given these humans, these human. I'm not gonna use the word, but they were in chains and they were put in a cage. We'll just put it at that. So, anyways, the main character basically at that point had become like the strongest member of his tribe and had essentially taken over the leadership of it, and so he pretty much promised the women, don't worry, I promise you, I won't let anybody lay hand on. I won't let any of the other members of my tribe lay hand on you. Um. Oh man, it's so funny. Later on, he ends up having sex with all of them. Okay, so I think that's probably about good for this video. I think I'm gonna stop at that and let anybody who wants to discuss what animes you're watching or what animes you consider to be good, talk about it down in the comments below. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.